Welcome back, all my lovely listeners. This is Janine, and it's my podcast that you tuned into. It's called Quest for You, and I'm curious how this journey has been so far, and would love if you can let me know. Reach out to me, send me a quick note. Takes 5 seconds. Maybe a comment somewhere on the website. Just would like to hear your thoughts on this podcast, and if it's helping you. I would love that review on iTunes if you get a chance. It means a lot. I don't have a lot of reviews there, and I would love to get yours. So let's start. You are not your past. This is a powerful episode that I have today. And it's for all of us. Because we are not our past. You know, or you may not know, that I come from a family of whiners and lamenters. Everything was or is always at its worst. My grandmother was that way, and now that my mom is getting older, she's talking the same way that my grandmother used to. Life is hard, we are suffering, and everything is just always so bad. When I call her and I tell her stories, she always finds a way to turn them into something negative. A new job that I started somehow is so much more work for me than the previous one. I really don't try to bring up much. So even the issues that I don't have, like no health problems, it just cannot be a good sign in her mind. They will come later, and then they will come all at once, and everything we always inherited, and we only inherited the worst, and so on. And then there's the fact that I'm single. I try to avoid the conversation, but if it does come up, then I already know. Bad luck with men runs in the family. I will never meet anyone, and all men want is younger women anyway, so it's over for me. And as you might imagine, I already have a hard time not telling myself these kind of things from time to time. But when your mother tells you stuff like that, then it becomes really hard for me not to hop onto the train of misery and join her there. Because as soon as I accept her words, I'm allowing them room in my life, which means I begin to believe them. So I make a very concerted effort not to let them into my heart. If I allow myself to believe them, then I will. If I don't allow myself to believe them, then I won't. It really doesn't matter if they are the truth or not. I just don't want to be miserable. I live an amazing life, and I don't want to focus on what I don't have. And the same applies to you. Whatever dysfunction you came from, maybe poverty, violence, aggression, or neglect, whatever mistakes you made, and the resulting guilt and shame you now live with, whatever your beliefs are, maybe you're not feeling good enough, not pretty enough, not tall enough or rich enough. All these negative beliefs that you carry around only do one thing. They hold you back from living a joyful life. Nobody argues that bad things didn't happen. Yeah, there may have been some stories of bad relationships in my family's history. And for some of you, it may have been really bad. But you cannot turn these experiences into your life mission, because then they become your excuse for not moving on with life. And excuses are just that, excuses. They may get you attention from others, maybe they elicit mercy, and maybe even some special treatment. But they keep you in the same spot, stuck in life. Excuses usually go right along with not taking responsibility for one's own life. You tell yourself long enough that you cannot do anything about your situation, and eventually you will be right there, unable to do anything. And this leads to you feeling bitter, negative, discouraged, and hopeless, when really it's you who got you there, not your circumstances. We let our circumstances define us. They become the interpretation of who we are. We allow them to hinder our progress because we settle. We settle for an unfulfilled life, a life of mediocrity. because we believe we have been dealt a bad hand. I have no doubt. Some of you have been dealt a tough hand. You are the victim of unfair treatment, and now you feel you live with some form of disadvantage. But as long as you give your disadvantage attention, you're allowing it to stay. So here are some common ways in which we do this. For once, we bring the past constantly back into the present. We talk about it constantly. Like my mother, she will bring up the same old stories of bad luck and misfortune. You have to let it go. Yes, it was painful. Yes, it was defining and hard to forget, but that time is gone. The brain can forget very easily. How many times have you purchased something you really wanted? Maybe some clothes, some shoes, and you stuffed them away, and next time you know, you forgot about it. I realized that life's tragedies are more severe than shoes, but I wanted to illustrate that the brain is capable of forgetting. You just have to allow it to. You have to turn away from the past and look towards your future. And then second, we surround ourselves with people in the same circumstances. Support is good for some time. Having people that know and understand what it feels like. They can be a great bridge from suffering to overcoming. But if those people don't bring you forward and hold you and your feelings back, then you need to let them go. There comes a point when you don't need that support anymore. And if those people don't move forward with you, you need to walk on your own. The right people, they will let you cry. They will take your late night phone calls. They may even let you sleep on their couch. But they will also begin to push you forward when the time is right. They will give you ideas, maybe introduce you to people, and they will challenge your beliefs. If you don't have such people in your life, then it's time. Find new people. People that inspire you and that you want to emulate. People that have the life that you want to have. Follow those people. And next, we stay in the same environment. Your mind and your spirit may already be growing past your pain. You already started to move forward. And now you need more space to grow. Space where your mind can grow even further. Your creativity can expand and you can bloom as a human being. Just like with people, you may need to change your environment if it's keeping you stuck. If there's no work where you live, if you keep running into the same people that caused your dilemma in the first place, if you cannot find places that help you move forward, then maybe it's time to move out. And lastly, we have a negative attitude towards everything different. You have to want to get well and move on. Nobody can force you. But a negative attitude is sure not to get you moving forward. And maybe you call it fear, but fear can be overcome with courage. Like Seneca said, but there is no reason to live and no limit to our miseries if we let our fears predominate. Learn to know the person you are. A bad childhood, screwed over in every imaginable way, disadvantaged and maybe even disabled. Whatever happened to you, whatever someone did to you, you are still responsible for your life today and the choices you make. Everyone has scars, but they are not an obstacle to move forward in some shape or form. Choose not to accept it. The past is gone. Don't dwell on it. The more you give it attention, the more it will come back into the present. So create a big vision for yourself and go after it. You see, when my mother speaks like this, I'm always reminded of my past. I grew up with talk like that. Every day I had to listen to negativity. I was way on my track to become just like it, a negative person. My glass was always half empty. But I made a conscious choice not to live like this. And today, I'm inviting positivity into my life every day. So try the same. Find your greatest setback and turn it around into a setup. A setup to something really great and amazing. Don't let the past hold you back. Leave it in the past and look towards the future. Create a vision of the life that you want and go after it, step by step. With so much love today, I'm wishing you that you can become the person that you dream of becoming. Start today. Much love.